All right, can you guys hear me? Thank you for holding on there for a second. I kind of was doing got home a little later than expected, so I was doing a little running around. How is everybody today? Good. Welcome to your last live lecture of this class. Crazy that it's already finals week and that we're ending this class already. I feel like I just started. I'm sure you guys probably, I don't know, maybe you guys don't feel the same about it, but I feel like it goes so quick. It made your laptop worse, not better. Uh-oh. What's going on with your laptop? Why did it make it worse?
Because they were supposed to try to help fix Photoshop, which they didn't. And now my computer feels like it's overheating, and now I have less memory than I had, and it's like even worse.
Okay. Well, all right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what to tell you other than, do you have a lot of, do you have an external hard drive?
Not yet. I have USBs and I started transferring stuff, but because he hit auto update on the Creative Cloud, I had 4.46 gigabytes left, and now I only have one something, and I don't know how to undo it. I actually had to leave them and restart my computer. It's like,
Okay, so what you're gonna have to do is try to get with, I'm gonna say it's probably because it downloaded more software programs or updated the programs to give you more stuff on your computer. What I would suggest for a quick and easy fix possibly is try to get everything on your hard drive that you have onto a Dropbox or Google Drive. That's free.
okay.
And they have, so many gigabytes, so you'll definitely be able to save that all. If you have even pictures, personal pictures, I would transfer them over, and then delete what you don't need. Once you transfer them over on your computer, you have to trash them completely, and then restart, try it again. If it works, great. If it doesn't work,
Well, I'll still pass your class even if I can't do week 3, because I can still do the week 4 cover codes, or I can still do week 3, just not as high res.
It just sounds like your computer's full. You just need to transfer files over. But once you transfer files over, you have to get rid of the files on your hard drive and trash it.
Yeah.
And then whenever once that's done and everything's good, you can transfer it back over. I would recommend getting an external hard drive. They're like $20 on Amazon.
Yeah, my boyfriend's gonna buy me a Tera drive.
Yeah, you can get that, and that's all you need, and that's good to get anyway because you have the backup stuff and have that. So sorry to hear you're having issues, and yeah, I know. I trust me. I've gone through
an interview right after this lecture, so I'm like severely stressed right now.
Yeah. Well, try to hang in there, and like I said, try to do that external, try to do the external drive.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And get rid of the stuff on your hard drive. It's probably good to do anyway. All right. Good luck to you. Keep me posted on that too. I know a lot of you guys are probably stressing, hopefully not, especially those of you who have issues with your program or your computer. It's just one of those things. I mean, it's just, it's going to happen to you in life, unfortunately, too, when you're in a deadline situation, and it's just kind of problem solving and trying to figure it out. So yeah, it's just, but keeping me in the loop is good. All right, going forward here, just want to see how you guys are doing. If you're struggling with anything other than software issues, computer issues, is there anything that you want to talk about before we get into your final assessment demo? Questions, concerns? We'll have time after too to address anything if you need to share your screen or anything like that. I did post in announcements about, somebody had questions about how to do a drop cap. So I posted in announcements how to do that. I also did a demo on that as well. So if you were listening to the recording and saw how I did it, hopefully you were able to do that too. I created a style sheet for the drop cap, first paragraph. So hopefully, I think that was in week 1, I believe. Okay, I'm going to assume that everybody being so quiet, I'm going to assume that nobody has any questions as of yet. And I'm just going to go for it here. I do have a lot of you guys who are finishing up your projects early. So hopefully you guys are okay with this upcoming assessment without looking at this and listening to the recording. If you listen to this recording and you already submitted your project and you forgot something, you can always resubmit. Just as long as it's in before midnight this Saturday, Mountain Standard Time. That's the deadline for all of your work. All right, so let's go ahead. Hopefully you guys are finishing strong and going through. Do you have any questions from the last live lecture, by the way? We kind of went through how to do the cover, how to approach that, and then the table of contents. Any questions about that? Okay. I had somebody contact me about the remodeling magazine. They couldn't find the table of contents information, and it's abbreviated TOC. So I mentioned that in the last live lecture. So if you missed that, that's what that Word file is. That's your table of contents. Yeah, it doesn't need Photoshop. All right, let's go ahead and look at your assessment 4. You guys are going to be pretty much just wrapping things up. Like I said before, we looked into your assignment 4. The last time we met up, we went over how to create your cover, table of contents. We also talked about the discussion. Don't forget you have a career integration quiz. That's an easy 15 points if you're providing substantial feedback about this specific course. Easy 15 points, and it all adds up. So let's go ahead and take a look at your assessment. So once you're done with your assignment, you can go forward with your assessment. And basically what you're going to be doing is you're going to create an interactive PDF file based on your print version of your magazine. So I'm going to read through this here. Have you ever wanted to put a bit more excitement into your multi-page documents? Does the thought of having flying text, page transitions, buttons, and animated objects in your page layout without writing a single line of code pique your interest? Are you ready to get interactive? If so, your dream has come true. When you carefully plan and create an interactive PDF by properly structuring a multi-page layout in InDesign, you can make your magazine come alive, creating a delightful experience that will captivate your reader on virtually any device. An interactive PDF is a PDF file, such as your magazine, that is meant to be viewed on screen. With interactive PDFs, you can control what your readers will see. For example, setting options to have the document open in full screen mode with animation and page transition effects from one page to another. You can produce publications that automatically advance to the next page after a set amount of time. You can even build in security features like password that requires to view the document, edit it, print it, and so on in ways that you can't in InDesign. It is the interactive features of the PDF like bookmarks, hyperlinks, animation, and navigation buttons which allow the reader to navigate through your online publication quickly to enhance the reading experience. For example, buttons are great for navigation and let your audience control their experience as they move through the document. A button can be used to submit a form, enable the reader to jump from one page to the next, or even start a movie playing. You can make just about any object on your InDesign page into a button. Interactive PDFs let your audience control their experience as they move through your document. It's a thing of beauty. The future of print media is digital content, and magazines are going online in a rapid progression. Digital magazines are dynamic and provide swift, reliable access, and online readers often read the edition the very same day it's distributed. Ultimately, the more you know about how to make an interactive PDF, the better equipped you will be to provide a better experience to your reader in a more cost-effective way, efficient way. So some of that actually is really good information for your discussion this week. You know, so it talks about the advantages of going interactive too, first print. Okay, so the prompt is, it's now time to take your finished magazine initially designed as a multi-page layout in InDesign and convert it to an interactive PDF document. An interactive PDF is a great choice to create digital magazines because it completely preserves the look of your InDesign document and requires no coding to build and deliver a well-crafted interactive PDF. So here are the assignment instructions. Create a navigation system that includes hyperlinks for each article on cover so the reader can jump directly to each article. So it's almost like a button, but it's a hyperlink. One hyperlink added to the editorial article and one hyperlink added to the feature article that links specific content to Wikipedia. For example, adding a link to the Wikipedia page on remodeling. So it's like a quick link if it's added to a word or, you know, within that feature article. Interactive table of contents that can be clicked to go to the articles themselves. Bookmarks allowing readers to navigate to an article and content, and navigation buttons on each page that the user can use to browse the magazine page by page or jump to the table of contents. It sounds like a lot, but I think once we go through this, you'll see how easy it is, and it won't be so overwhelming. Okay, so we'll go by each one of these step by step, and if you have any questions, let me know. Submission requirements. So once you're done with, you know, creating your interactive PDF, or I'm sorry, your interactive buttons, you're going to export to the web using Adobe InDesign Publish Online, and I'll show you how to do that. Export as a spread. You're going to copy the URL and submit in comments. And then again, you're going to name your file as such, submit the interactive PDF for grading, and you're going to send an email to your faculty advisor, and you're going to CC carbon copy me with the URL link to your online magazine. Okay, there are also samples down here. If you have any questions, you know, let me know right now. But there are samples down here that you can check out that are interactive. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. And these are already saved out as PDFs. So let's see, this one doesn't have a cover page though. Okay, so but you can see kind of a hyperlink created here. It's blue and has an underline. There's play buttons down here that you can take a look at. Now, obviously, I don't know why, but this isn't interactive. This is just showing you some of the features in here. Let me see if the other one is actually interactive. I'll show you how to make these buttons, and then I'll show you how to use, you know, kind of how it interacts. So here's some other examples here. Here's the hyperlink. This is actually kind of a neat idea. So you could have a hyperlink that actually you just click on, it takes you right to page 7. That's kind of a neat idea. So take a look at those. I know that they're not, I don't think they're actually like a workable file, but you can kind of see how they did some of their hyperlinks. All right, I'll show you once we do everything to my file how it all works and comes together. Any questions so far? All righty, so let's do this. Let me share my file here. Excuse me. So we left off the last time in lecture, we did the cover. So I showed you how to create the cover, different ideas to create the table of content, how to create your style sheets based on the table of contents. And it should look separate from your article on here, even though it's on the same page. You don't want people to be confused that it's part of this article. So you don't want it to look too close to being the same article, same style as far as like the body copy. You want it to kind of pop a little bit so that people say, oh, okay, yeah, this is the table of contents. So everything looks good. You know, go through it again. If you see anything that you need to change, just like we discussed the last time, you know, go ahead and make those changes. When you're ready to go forward and say you created your PDF, you did everything that, assignment 4 called for, move on to your assessment. We're going to save this as, go ahead and go File, Save As, and we're going to name this Assessment 4 before we do anything. Okay, and we're just going to name it as like an InDesign file. And let me show my normal view here. And now I would suggest going up to your window and selecting interactive on your panel box, but I would go to, what we're going to do is probably hyperlinks first. I think that's the first call to action for now. It's going to give you this hyperlink panel box. So you're working in InDesign, you're not taking this into Photoshop or anything. I know, Amy, you're probably excited about that. So you're going to actually create the hyperlinks and the interactive buttons in InDesign. She's like, yay. Okay, so the first bullet point in your prompt assignment instructions are hyperlinks for each article on cover so the reader can jump directly to that article. So we pulled up the hyperlink panel box. We're ready to go. So this is the hyperlink panel box. This is really simple and easy, and I'll show you kind of how this works. Okay, so take your type tool and select the first feature article, just kind of highlight it. Now it's important that you only highlight your copy that you want the link to jump to. If you highlight all of these together, which mine are in separate boxes, but if say they were on all one box and you did a select all, you have to be careful because it's going to assign that to all of your feature, all of your stories and not just your feature. So with that selected, you can see how this comes alive. It's no longer grayed out. The URL button is active and ready to go. So what we want to do is new hyperlink, and when we just clicked up on the right hand asset panel there to pop this up. And what we're going to do, instead of link to a URL, we're going to change this to a page. Okay, so go ahead and select page. We don't want a URL. We'll get to that when we get into the feature story, the URL. The document destination, that's fine. And now you want to make sure you select the right page number. So my, and yours definitely will start on this page too. Your feature story starts on page 3, right? So we'll go page 3. So it'll go right to that page. Zoom setting, we'll just keep it at fixed. You can fit view, you can do all kinds of different things. We'll just do fixed. Character style. Now this is kind of interesting because you can have it look like a hyperlink. What a hyperlink looks like is it's blue with an underline typically. Now you can have it set like this so that people know that they can click on it. I'm just going to keep it as hyperlink. That's fine. PDF appearance, the type. You can have an invisible rectangle or a visible. I'm going to do invisible. That's just kind of where that hyperlink would be selected. Highlight none, everything looks good. I'm going to click OK. Now, when I click off of it, look how it just changed that. So it looks like a hyperlink now. So if I were to click on this, once I create my PDF, once I'm saving it out, this should take me to page 3, and I'll show you how to test that. Notice up here in your hyperlinks panel, it creates almost like a style sheet, but a hyperlink. And you can always double click on this and change it if you need to edit it. But this is kind of, or even delete it or go to the destination. So it goes right to page 3. So you can test it out. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty easy, isn't it? Have you guys ever done this before? No? All right. All right, so then the next box, we'll just highlight all of those words. It's not on the cover, okay? And we'll just do the same thing. So we go up to hyperlink, new hyperlink. We go to page, link to page. And this one is actually on page 2 for me. This is the letter from the editor for me, page 2. Fixed, hyperlink, everything is the same. Click OK. So if I wanted to test this out, I can click on it, it goes to page 2. And this is where my story is. Okay. Now, This one we don't have a page for. Yeah, it overrides. No, you don't. You can set that to not override your slides. So, or your style. So let's do that. So so if you don't want this to look this way, let's edit this so that it doesn't look like a hyperlink style. So we can click none and click OK. And it still has a clickable link. It just doesn't look like a hyperlink. So I'll leave that one go so you can see both of them and how they work whenever I do save it out. So I'll leave this one looking like one, this one not looking like one. Now I'm not going to put a hyperlink on this one because this doesn't exist. This is because we couldn't do the whole entire magazine. This is just a fake article in there. So I'm just going to leave that alone. So if you have a third, you should have at least a second one underneath the feature. So at least two. This one, just leave go. Okay. So I'll be testing the first two. All right. No questions about that, right? Pretty cool. Pretty interesting. Pretty easy. I think it's easier than maybe what you may have thought possibly. All right, so we did this first one, so easy peasy. Second one is one hyperlink added to the editorial article and one hyperlink added to the feature article that links specific content to Wikipedia. Okay, so what I would do, let's go back to let's start with our editor story here. So page 2. What you can do is once you read through this, you can choose one word or two words. It's up to you. And something you want to maybe elaborate on if somebody were questioning, what does that mean? You know, maybe in this regards, it's, let's see here, picture this. So brain injury or something like that would be, or concussion could be a good word to, maybe somebody doesn't know what a concussion is and you want to kind of link that to Wikipedia information. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight one word that I think would be great for somebody to find out more about. Or frontal lobe, yes. Where's that at? Right here, frontal temporal lobe. Oh, let's do that one because some people might not know what that is. Good job. All right, so I'm going to highlight that and just copy it. Good job. So that I can go back, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go online. You're going to see me do this here. I'm going to go online after I copied it. I'm going to look up Wikipedia. I spelled that right. Right on Wikipedia. And just paste what you just copied and just do a little search and see what comes up. And if it explains it like it does here, gives you some good explanations. Let's see, like this one. That's a good link. So this is the link you want to copy. So it talks about the temporal lobe. So go ahead and select all and then do a Command C. Go back to your InDesign file. This is kind of a little jumping around here. And with that selected, what you're going to do is you're going to go back to your hyperlinks box. You're going to go up to the right-hand corner and say New Hyperlink. And instead of link to page, we're going to link to URL, right? Because it's a URL that we're linking it to. Now, you're going to want to paste that URL right here. So delete whatever's in there. Just hit delete, select all, delete. Do Command V, which is a paste. Shared link destination, that can be checked. You can have it set as a hyperlink. That might be good because obviously you want people to know that, hey, this word is, you can look this up, it's a hyperlink. Everything else you can leave as is and click OK. So when you click off of it, it becomes a hyperlink. I don't know if you guys can see this, but right there. And if I wanted to test this out, it has a little green just telling me, yeah, this link works. It's a little green circle. If I click on it just to test it, it'll show me where it's actually what page is gonna open up. Okay, and I know you guys don't see that, but I just opened it up on I think it'll be easier once I save this out as an interactive PDF. You'll see kind of me interacting with it. But I just clicked on this test circle and it opened up my web page that it links to. So you might want to test it out. That's kind of how you would test it out. Okay, so that's one hyperlink in my letter from the editor. Now I have to go into my feature story and do the same thing. Pretty easy, right? Oh, I just noticed a spelling error here. I think what I did was I opened up an older version of my demo here. All right, so go ahead and look through here, read and see what you can come up with. Of course, there's more than one page here, so it's good for you to kind of look at maybe the whole article and say, what would I question? What would I be wanting to know more about? And that's something that you'll want to highlight. All right, so let me see if I can find something in here. How about a bicep curl? Actually, no, they're kind of telling you what it is there. So let's try to figure out something else here. If you guys see anything, let me know. Let's go over here, join the health club. You guys see anything? Check out local. Was that over here? Oh, this one, local mud runs. I mean, you could hyperlink this to your local mud runs. The only problem with that is I'm not sure exactly where my target audience is living. So that'd be kind of cool if it was say like a magazine that it's in a certain area and that you can link it to like a local mud run. That would be kind of cool. Strength routine, where's that at? Right by where I was just at, mud runs. Oh, right here, strength routine. Yeah, you have to make sure that this is in Wikipedia. So if it doesn't show up on Wikipedia, obviously you'll want to pick something else. So we'll see if it's in here. Hold on one second. Strength routine. There's strength training. That might be a good one. So I'm going to click on that, and then we can use this URL if you think it works, what it is, talks about what it is and ideas of how to do that. So select and copy that URL. It's pretty much what you just did. You're just doing it in this feature story. So hyperlink, new hyperlink, URL, delete what's in here, paste, hyperlink, okay. And then I'll test this out. And I'll be looking for these two links in your PDF. Good job. All right, so what's next? So we got that. Sorry, guys, I'm coughing with my allergies here. Interactive table of contents that can be clicked to go to the articles. All right, so let's go to your table of contents. All right. So what I would do is just kind of highlight the whole article and go ahead and do, let me see here. Yeah, we'll just put it, we'll put kind of like, let's see here, interactive table of contents. Trying to think of what the best way to do this. Let's do a new hyperlink again. And let's do we want to go to the page number. This one is page 3. Zoom setting fixed, hyperlink. Let's do none and click OK. So anywhere that this person clicks here, it will be, it will take you to page 3. Same thing here, new hyperlink, page. And then we want this to be page 2, character style none, looks good. Now, these are the ones that you can just leave because these are all fake ones. Okay, so as long as the first 2 go, you're good. You're good to go. All right, so those once clicked will go to those specific articles. All right, the next one is bookmarks, allowing readers to navigate to an article and content. Yeah. I think it's pretty easy. All right, so let's go to interactive, up in window, and we're going to choose bookmarks. See how it says bookmarks there? And it's going to pull. It's going to pull up a new panel box. We can actually pull this into your other panel box so you have it all together, depending on how you like to organize your page. All right, so what we're going to do is bookmarks. Do you ever see bookmarks on an interactive PDF? Do you ever look through like a manual of, say, or a interactive PDF of like a magazine that had lots of like clothing in it and accessories? Okay, that's where that really comes in handy, because then you can bookmark certain pages or go to those bookmarks. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to bookmark. Let's see. Let's bookmark the feature story, maybe. Let's see if we go to page 3. Just double click on page 3 and say new bookmark. And we're going to name this feature story. And you want to make sure you click on, oh, you know what? Before I do that, let me undo this. You want to make sure you click on the pages that you want bookmarked. All right, so I would shift select 3, 4, 5, and 6 on your page. And if you guys can see that. If you shift select, it's going to select and highlight in blue the pages that you want within the bookmark. Now I would go to bookmarks and choose new bookmark and name this feature story. Now, you can't see it now, but once we create the PDF, you'll see a bookmark appear. And I'll show you that in a second. Pretty easy. Some of these things you can't see until we're saving it out. Okay, so you could just do one bookmark, that's fine. Navigation buttons on each page that the user can use to browse the magazine page by page or jump to the table of contents. Okay, this is actually kind of fun to play around with too. So let's go. You won't need a button on your cover, okay, because it's your cover. Actually, you can put a next button, but you won't need a previous button, if that makes sense. So I already have my buttons and forms tab here. If you don't see that, go up to window, go to interactive, and choose buttons and forms, and it should bring this buttons and forms feature, interactive feature here. Now you have sample buttons. If you click on that right-hand corner of that box, panel box, and choose sample buttons and forms, these are all buttons that are already pre-designed that you can use. Isn't that cool? You can do your own button, or you can choose one here. So let's say you wanted to do, let's see if there's a navigation. Oh, let's just do a simple arrow, and we'll do to the right. And we'll do, let's see, this arrow, so 134. So we're going to choose 134, and we're going to drag and drop it down here off of this box. Oops. Right onto the page. Okay, so let me get rid of this for a second. So it's right here. Now I'm going to put this maybe like in the middle here. You don't have to put it in the middle. I'm just doing it just for visibility's sake. You can make it bigger. You can make it smaller. You can even, you know, make it a different color if you want. I kind of like it dark. You can move it around. You can do whatever you want. Now, of course, this isn't going to have a back button because it's the cover. Put it in the middle here. But once you drag and drop it down, this form button is going to appear. So it says type of button. You can name it. So let's name this next page. If I did the arrow the other direction, which I'm going to show you in a second, it would be called previous page, right? Because it would be the previous page and you want to jump back. But this would be called next page. Now you can choose the interactiveness on how you want the user to participate, you know, when it actually is activated. So you can have it on release or tap, that this will change to the next page, just on a click, on a rollover, on roll off, on focus, on blur is the PDF option there. I'm just going to do release or tap. It's probably pretty standard there. Now my actions are go to next page. They're already shown here, so I don't need to do anything other than just leave it there. Inherent zoom, we'll just do actual size. We don't really want to zoom in on it. Normal, if you wanted to say have this change in a rollover situation, you can actually see it kind of change as you're rolling it over with, you know, kind of not clicking on it, but have your mouse over it, your selection tool will kind of interact with that. I'm just going to leave it as normal. So I'm just going to choose that. We can also have it, this is PDF options. You can describe what this button is doing, and you can also have it printable. So that means it would show if it's printed. That's fine. We could just leave that as is. I'm going to go File, Save, and there you go. It should be interactive. Once you save it out as an interactive PDF, I'll show you how it works. Now I would go to the next page, and I would do the same thing, only I would do, I'm going to do the left arrow, so 134, or 133. 133, because I did 134. Keep it consistent. So it's kind of going, you know, if you wanted the reader to be able to go back, where's my center here? There we go. You can assign that to go back to the previous page, which would be the cover. So it would be a button. Go back to your buttons and forms. I'm going to put previous page on release or tap, and then it already is assigned go to previous page because of the button that's already assigned to it, that it's already created in that way. Everything else looks good. You can actually preview this too if you want to, if you wanted to check it before we go export it out. And let's go ahead and do that. So let's see if it actually works. Oh, let me see. Or actually see how it looks. I don't know if it's actually going to be clickable. Here, let me see here 1 second. It's not going. All right, I'm not sure if that's not working or if I have this incorrect, but we'll test it when we export. I think that's the best way. But you can preview it and see what it looks like. Move us over to the left a little bit. You can make these really big looking and then transparent too. There's been like, I've seen magazines do that where they're real big arrows, but they're super transparent. So you see it, they're just not super contrasted. Oops, where am I going? Properties. All right. Now you can copy and paste this one if you want to just use this, copy and paste it down here on the right page. Just make sure it's aligned. Looks good. I'm going to do the same thing here, paste. Kind of saves time. Where did I redo item? Sorry guys, I'm losing it here. So I just pasted, copy, paste, just make sure they're aligned. All right. And one more. And then just save it. If you need to edit these, I'll show you how you can do that. Then I would go up and do the same thing on the previous page. So go ahead and do a copy, paste. I'm trying to find my center here. There we go. And obviously on the very last page is your single print ad. You won't have a to next page, you'll probably just have a previous page. If you need to change the color, you can, because it might be dark like mine. Just white. I don't know if it's going to change all those now. No, it doesn't. We just make sure everything else is saved. Yeah, okay. So I just double clicked on the color and it changed it to that. Any questions about that? You can also create your own button too. Like if you wanted to just do like a, let's say like your own, you can draw out your own button. But you can do just like a simple shape. See how I just did this circle here? And then select it and then go to button, and you created your own button here. You just need to name it, have the action, and then what you would do, so let's say on release or tap, you would just hit the plus sign and you would just choose whatever you wanted to do. Go to destination, go to first page, go to last page. So actually, this is what we'll do. Let me delete this. Let's do maybe on the very back part of this page, what we'll do is we'll just draw our own rectangle here in red. This is the tricky part. I know I've had problems with this before because there's two elements to this, not just the square, but also the type. I'm just going to draw a little type box in here. I'm going to say go. Of course, it has to be white so you can see it. So creating my own button. So I'm going to go to table of contents. Let's make this a little smaller so we can actually see it, but we don't want it to. we want to be able to read it. Actually, you know, I'm going to make this look more like a button too. I'm going to make the square more rounded. You can do some really cool stuff with this though too. Pull this down. Let's do a rounded. Let's see. I'm going to do a rounded square. Where are my settings up here? Let me go to properties. There we go. Okay, so let's Well, I want to change it so it's more rounded. So I want to go, once I do the rectangle, I just go to properties and I change that with this box here, the corner box. Yeah. If I were to just pull it in, it would just make it smaller. So just learn something new. And now I can pull this out and just make sure you center align it. And there's, you know, you could actually make it look like a really, like a three-dimensional button. You can actually click on the actual rectangle, and let's go to, where's gradient here? I don't know what gradient do we? Let's go up to gradient, which is gradient panel box under color probably, huh? Gradient, yep, under color. I could pull this color right into my gradient box here. Actually, let me. I don't think I can pull it. I need to actually create this as a swatch color. Let me create it as a swatch color. And then what I'll do is just open my swatches. It's a little bit more of a step that you have to take. Drag and drop it right into the gradient toolbox. And this is where you can really kind of play around with it. Maybe make it radial, play around with the highlight. You know, maybe you want to give the angle a different angle to it. So, you know, actually the radial, you only have that option. You can reverse it. So maybe it's just on the corners. There's some really cool things that you can do. Okay, let's keep it at that. And then what we'll do is just do a drop shadow on this. Make it look like it's an actual button. Pull this in a little bit. Dial it down a little bit. We can even give it, look at this. We can even give it, in this box here, we don't just have to do a drop shadow. We can do an inner shadow. And you can control that inner shadow. Say if that's too much, just click on the inner shadow and go ahead and change the distance, the opacity, say dial it back a little bit. You can give it a bevel and emboss look, so it looks like a button more so. You can control the bevel amount. So if you don't want a whole bunch, you can smooth it out. You see the before and after. So it almost looks like a button now. Oh, okay. Let's go to preview so you can see. See how that kind of looks like a three-dimensional button now? Make it a little bit smaller on this side. We can even put a drop shadow on the words. Make that pop a little bit. Okay. Now, the key to this, I believe, and I might have to change this because I remember getting into this before, is grouping this. So you have to shift select the rectangle along with the words and go up to edit. I'm sorry, object and group. So Command G would be your shortcut, Command G. Now I might need to change this because I think I ran into an issue with this before, but we'll just kind of check it out. Let me place it in here, centering it. So this is a button that I created, not only the rectangle, but also the words. I grouped it together, and now I'm going to create a new button. So I'm going to go up to buttons and forms, and I'm going to do button. And I'm going to name this table of contents on release or tap, and then I'm going to hit actions, and then I'm going to go to destination or go to first page. Okay, so this is go to destination. And what we want to do is we want to go to, it's not going to give me, hold on, this might be different than go to this. Let me erase this. Hold on. Go to page. It should be go to destination. I might be right. We don't want to go to feature story. We want to go to the editorial. Or yeah, because that's on page 2. Would you say go to page under animation? Oh, okay, I see that. Yeah, that might be that. Let me delete this. I didn't see that. So animation, go to page. That's the only one. I don't think PDF only. Well, let's see if that works. I can't remember what I did the last time. So we would put 2 here because it's page 2 of the table of contents. And we'll see if that works, right? And click, that's all good. Table of contents, go to page. We're going to save file, save this. All right. Now there's other things that aren't listed here that you can do, and we'll see if that works here. Like the continue to page 7 up here. That other student did a good job with, and I don't have that wording down here for some reason, but I should have it. Continue on page 7. You should have that on yours. Make this small. And just for simplicity here, I should probably have one more line up, but it's kind of crammed in here. But for the sake of just going ahead here, you could do a hyperlink for here too. So if you should have continue on page 7 here. Go ahead and go to your hyperlinks, create a new hyperlink. It would be page, and you would go to page 7, obviously. And you can have it set as a hyperlink so that people know that that's clickable. Any questions about that before we export this out and try it and see what's going on? All right, so that's pretty much it. We got our buttons in there. We got our 2 hyperlinks. We got our table of contents button down here. Hopefully it'll work. Once we export out, we'll see. Ready to go. Save it out. Now we're going to export it out as an interactive PDF. So we're going to go up to File, and we're going to we're going to say Publish Online. There's recently published too. All right, now this box will appear. I don't know if you guys can you see this box here? It says Publish your document online. Okay. All right, so it would be a new document. This is the name. You can put a description. You can just put like 8-page magazine about fitness. You want to do all pages, and you want to click Spread. You can allow users to download the document as a PDF, so we can click that, and then hide the share and embed options in the published document. It's completely up to you. It's just something that you might want to do, but obviously I'm just going to leave. Advanced is just a little bit more details here. You can choose an image, say for the first page, say if you don't want this to be the first page image to show in view, you can change it here. You can choose the image. Format is automatic. You could have it formatted in different files. We'll just put automatic. Resolution, 96 pixels per inch. You're going to view this on screen, so that's perfect. High quality JPEGs, perfect. That's what you want. And then just if you have any GIF options in there, you can set the palette options. We don't really have a GIF, so we're just going to leave it. Download PDF settings. When somebody downloads it, do you want them to download it up press quality, high quality, or smallest file? Just smallest file is fine for this purpose. Now, if you were doing this, for somebody like a client that wanted to print it as well, you might choose the press quality or the high quality. That'll ensure that it's printable if that's going to, say, a printer. And then we're going to hit publish. It might take a while. It's preparing your document to be published online. And you can always revise this. There was an option where you can either replace it with an already existing one. So if you need to go back and make changes, which I might need to, we'll see. There is an option for that instead of creating a new one every time. And it says upload speed may vary depending on your internet connection. So just kind of be patient. All right, so the document was successfully uploaded. You can view the document here. This is the link that you would need for the second part of this, which would be shared to your faculty advisor and then CC'd to me, so copied to me. There's also sharing on networks, so if this was something of interest, you could do like Facebook, Twitter, email, all of that good stuff. I'm just gonna put view document because I want to see it and how it's supposed to look on screen on as an interactive PDF. All right, so here it is. So what you want to do is you want to view it, so you want to make sure everything looks good. This is the hyperlink that I created that looks like a hyperlink. This one isn't, and you can tell, I don't know if you guys can see, my hand changes to a little finger when I just hover over it, and that tells me that, oh, this is clickable, but also the hyperlink does too. So let's click on it and see if it takes me to my feature story. Boom, right there. Pretty cool. My feature story starts on this page, page 3. That's perfect. Now I'm gonna check to see if my back button, my previous back button works. Boom, back. All right, now I'm going to test out this second hyperlink, which doesn't look like a hyperlink, but I can tell. You can't see it work. Okay, let me see if, let me know if you can see this here. Can you see this? Okay, maybe I wasn't sharing my screen right. Sorry, guys. So it goes boom right to my page 3. It shows spreads because we wanted spreads, but it goes to this page where it starts. And if we try this back button, it goes right back to the previous buttons. That works. Now I'm going to try the second hyperlink we created, the Life Kids, but we didn't show it as a hyperlink. We just kept it kind of the same style. Click on that. Boom. Perfect. So it goes to page 2. Yeah. All right. I think that was it for the first page, except for the next page, which goes right to the next page. So test all your buttons. See if they all work. Even go back to the back button on this page, go to the right button on this page, go to the right button on this page, back button on this page. Just make sure it all kind of works. All right. And then try this one. Yep, I'm going to go test that right now. Let's see if this works. Oh, it's highlighted. Let's see if it bumps back. Yay, it works. All right, awesome. You guys are great. Help me out here with the animation page 2. All right, the next thing is, remember we created our inside the issue table of contents. These are also hyperlinks, the first 2 articles. So I'm going to click on that and see if it takes me to page 3. Oh, we're already on page 3, so we're good. And this one, page 2. If this was like a single page reviewing, it would flip right to that page. So as long as I see that you have these as hyperlinks, I'll notice it because I can roll over it. You'll be good. It's just one of those things where it just happens to be on the same page. All the other articles obviously are not existent in the magazine. Okay, the next thing that I want to check is my hyperlinks down here, right? Let me zoom in. So on this article, I don't know if I can scroll down here. There we go. I have the frontal lobe, temporal lobe. So let me click on that and see if it takes me to the right page. Can you guys see that? The Wikipedia page? It just took me to. Yay! It worked. Let me see if this one continues to page 7. Yay, it worked. Page 7 is right here. So that worked. Okay, let me hit my back button. I have another hyperlink. Where is that one at? I think it's in the last page. Yep, right here, strength routine. I'm gonna test that one out. There you go, works. Looks good, right? Everything works pretty much. Did I miss anything? I think everything pretty much works, right? You got it. So I would give the URL to your faculty advisor and then CC me that link. And I believe that's all you need to do. Let me go back to your assignment instructions here. Export to the web. Well, we just did that. Export as a spread. Copy the URL. Name it. Submit the interactive PDF for grading. Okay, so let's do that part. Maybe there was one thing. So let's go back to InDesign. So once you do that, there's one more step you have to do. We're going to file export, and you're going to export as an interactive PDF. So right under format here, let me show you that again. File, export. Interactive PDF. See where it says interactive PDF? And save. This is where you want to pay attention. General settings. You want all pages. We want spreads. You can fit the page, completely up to you with the view you want. It's kind of nice to fit the page to view. You can open full screen mode. I'm not going to do that though. View after exporting is fine. Page transitions from document, we want to do that. Include all. Forms and media, include all. Okay, and then hit export. Go to page button action is not supported in PDF. Okay, so this is important. Go to page button action is not supported in PDF. The button appearance will be preserved, but its interactivity will be dropped. Click OK. As long as you guys have the interactiveness in that online PDF, I'm fine with that not working. There is ways around that. You would have to go almost like an invisible button over top, and I can show you how to do that too. It's kind of like a workaround. Let me export this first before I do that. So the go-to buttons are not going to work, but they'll you'll see them. All right, so these obviously work. You can test this out, and then these hyperlinks work. There we go. And then let's see if this opens up. Yep, and Wikipedia looks good. Let me see if these click. Yeah, it's these, and then these don't work. It looks like all of this actually works. Let me click on the very last button here. Okay, this is where the table of contents does not work. Okay, sorry. This is the PDF that just got exported out. All of my buttons work. I just tested them out. The only one that doesn't work is my table of contents button. And that's because it's not supported as a PDF and how I exported it out. So let me go back to my document here. Let me see if there's a workaround for that. Let me select that. Let's go back to my buttons. And what we did was we created a go-to action page. I think you would have to choose anything from a PDF only form. So it would either be clear form, go to next view, go to previous view, open file, print form, submit form, view. What you could do is do like an invisible button over top. Oh, I don't even know if you could do that either. I guess it's not a big deal because it's just the table of contents. As long as it's working in the interactive online version, that's fine. And I'll be able to look in here and see that you did it and assigned it correctly. I would say there's probably is a workaround where you can kind of, and I'm trying to figure out what that would be here. Okay, checkbox. Yeah, maybe you can make it like a checkbox or something like that. Let me see if this works here. And then the destination would be feature story. See, that's the where you'd have to change it here. Oh, you know what? You would have to make a, this is why it's showing destination is only a feature story. It's because we created a bookmark. So we would have to create a bookmark maybe for the table of contents. That's what we need to do. Okay. So on page 2, we can create our own bookmark here. Go to bookmark and do a new bookmark. And we'll name this table of contents. All we had to do was select the page in the page panel to do that. So you see number 2 selected. I'm going to go back to buttons and forms. I'm going to go back to my very last button here. And let's choose table of contents. And let's change this back to button. Let's see if we can just make it a button. Okay, let's see if this works. Just a test. I'll have to export it out again, just like I showed you. And I'm going to name this new interactive PDF spreads. Okay, they're just telling me that they're converting CMYK to RGB, which is fine. All right, so let me stop viewing and let's go to the PDF I just created. So this is the new PDF, I believe. Let me check the name. Yep. Let's go back to that button and see if it works. If it works, that's great. That's the workaround. Yay, it worked. So you have to create a bookmark. So that's the answer to that. Now, that's another thing I wanted to see here. Bookmarks. So if you want to view your bookmarks, you go up to View, Show Hide, Navigation Panes, and Bookmark. Where is it at? Navigation panes. It's kind of nested in there. So you would go to View, Show Hide, Navigation Panes, and Bookmarks. So once you do that, you want to test to see if your bookmarks are showing. And if they're showing correctly, you could just click right on them. So this is kind of nice. So if you had like a, and this is on the same page, so that's why it's not really flipping. But if, like, let's say if I had this on view and I clicked on feature, it will flip back. With table contents. If you had, over 100 pages, more than 8 pages, and you wanted to quickly go to a certain section, that's why bookmarks are so nice. That's what they're known for, a bookmark. Kind of saves your spot. Say if you're reading a long journal and you wanted to save a spot, even reading it, you could set a bookmark too. But setting it interactively for somebody to click on is kind of what we're doing for this project. Any questions about that? Pretty simple though. I mean, it sounds a little bit harder than what it is, I think. What do you think? Oh, I'm not sharing again. Did you miss everything I just said? All right. Any questions, concerns? This is kind of, we're wrapping it up, but hopefully that was clear enough to get you guys started. Are we good? Or do you have any questions about what I just went over? It is a lot of information, but I think once you get started and get into it, you'll kind of hopefully go right along. No questions? Everybody's so quiet. Okay. All right. So if you want to share anything, now's the time to do it. You want to share your screen, have any questions, want to go over anything, feedback, I'm going to open it up to you guys. Okay. You're getting started. Okay, good. All right. Well, keep me posted, Amy, on your situation with your program. And like I said, that's the tricky part, finding the time to pull all your files off and delete it and go through all of that. But hopefully, you'll get to it. And oh, thank you guys. It was a pleasure having all of you guys in class, especially those of you who can make it in the live lectures. I know a lot of you guys can't, but it's nice to not be able, I'm not talking to myself, so that's nice. So, but yeah, I'm going to be teaching 240 next mod. So if you're in 240, I might have you. Oh, great, Amy. That's awesome. Okay, great. Awesome. Woohoo. Keep in touch. I will be posting in announcements. Keep an eye out. I'll have my LinkedIn information and a Behance link, I believe, to my portfolio. So if you guys want to stay in touch in that way, that we can do so. It's kind of a nice way to stay in touch and, kind of check in with me whenever you're off on your own and give me a hello. And the puppy, yep, he's being very quiet. So I don't know, that might be a bad thing. There you go, Amy. All right, so find me on there. We can link up. All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of your day and let me know if you have any questions going forward. Get your stuff in. I can't wait to see all of your hard work for this final push. All right, have a wonderful day, you guys. There you go. That's a good idea. All right, Amy, have a great one. All right, bye-bye.